Hello, guys. Here's Teddy. I thought I'd show him to you because he's a scruffy, hot mess right now. He's getting his hair cut in just a little bit. Lauren's going to come in and pick him up and take him to the groomers. But he's really cute, Scruffy. Hey, can you say hi? Could you say hi to everybody? Do you have it in you to say hi? Do you have it in you to say hi, everybody? Hi. Hi, Daddy. Mama woke me up, made me get up here so you could see me. I want to go back to my bed, but it does feel good to have my tummy scratched, so maybe I can put up with it. Hello, Betty. Hello, Mary. Hello, Alice. Okay, you can go back to your bed now. He's going to look like a poodle again in a few hours, but right now he's kind of a mess. Hello, Sadie. Welcome. Okay, are we on live stream yet? No. You want to flip me over? Yeah. Let's get our cameras going, and we will get this show on the road. Hello, good friends. Okay, I see from the comments I have you intrigued. Let me show you what our end result will be. This, you have all the supplies in the kit. Nobody has their kits yet because we just put them together. I'm kind of running to catch up now that taxes are done, so I apologize that I'm kind of chasing my tail here, but I'll have these up soon. This is a little booklet I put together as a Christmas planner, and you will have everything in your kit to complete this planner. This isn't the project we're doing today because you actually have everything in your kit to complete multiple projects. But this is our Christmas planner. You get, and I'll show you in the supplies, you'll get the labels, you'll get the paper, you'll get the envelopes from which we created it. Now, I tried to think about what I would want if I were going out and planning for Christmas this year, COVID virus willing. But inside I created a pocket, and this is either for gift cards I might be using when I'm shopping or gift cards I'm purchasing, because it's always easy to lose those in your purse after you're shopping. A little place to make a note here at the top. Obviously, this is light enough you can write on it. Over here, I've got my gift list and check boxes. I've given you these little templates that you can actually cut down and put in your books. I have dates to remember for December because December always gets busy. Over here, I've got my dinner menu and my desserts. I've got a place for my coupons and any recipes I might pick up that I want to try. I've included in your kits, you have the stickers, you have all the papers to do the trim work. I've got my dinner shopping list, always much longer than the dinner itself. You had to have more lines for the shopping list. Here's, we are crafters, so we had to have a page for Christmas craft ideas that we want to complete. Again, the stickers that I used here are in your kits. We've got Christmas cards received and Christmas cards sent. We've got a place for notes. I want to use my notes for all those, and I start using it now for all those little times when you hear somebody say, gee, I wish I had, or wouldn't it be nice if I had, and I could make a quick little quiet note and make a note to think about that for Christmas. And I always have a problem keeping track of my gift receipts, so I've made a pocket at the end here for a gift receipt. So you have everything to do your planner. You can use it for this purpose. You can change it up. That's why we're not doing this one today. Christmas planning is a highly individualized event. I know that, but I thought you might enjoy having some fun red envelopes and, Christmas themed papers and planner elements if you decided you wanted to go that way. So everything for this is included in your kit. What we're going to do today is more like probably more like this one, except you're not getting it. You won't have green envelopes in your kit. This one is just a little open mini album, and our papers will be different, but I just wanted to show you where we're going. And I just created a little mini album here. But I wanted to let you know there's like a multitude of things that you can do with these. You'll have some 5 by 6.5 envelopes in your kit. I'm not sending you the papers for these, but I thought it might be fun to have different size envelopes and different styles to try and play with. So this is really a rich kit despite the fact that it's an envelope kit. But these books can turn out so pretty. And who would have thought looking at this? Would you ever guess in a million years that's envelopes? Because they're just really, really pretty. Depending on the papers and things you use, of course. And it's surprisingly sturdy. One of the things we're doing to make it sturdy is I'm including a piece of chipboard for the album covers. So you have a few pieces of chipboard in your kit too, where you can slide them into the outside envelopes before you decorate it to make the cover sturdier. This is the one I showed in the picture, and I just wanted to show that you can make these really masculine looking too. This is going to be, it's not yet, but this is going to be pictures of Teddy's first year. So I used papers I thought would go pretty with his red coat. And I'm just going to put pictures in here and little notes about his first year. And I put a little belly band on it to highlight that this is Teddy's first year album. So that's where we're going. That's what we're going to do today. Let me show you what the kit components will look like. We have in here just a plethora of stuff. You get a pack of 25 envelopes, red envelopes. This is enough to make 2 planners or 2 of these 9.5 by 4 books. You're going to get other envelope sizes. These are A2s, just regular US A2 envelopes. And you get about, I don't know, 10 or 12 in here. That's what we're actually going to use today if you want to set those aside. You get some of those 5 by 6.5 envelopes. They're US A6 envelopes. We have an assortment of papers. The one we're going to make today is kind of a little butterfly book. And you have a wide assortment of papers here already. They're not cut specifically, but they're cut down from larger pieces. So I could give you an assortment of papers. So we're going to make a butterfly album today. And then you've got some little trim pieces I had in the book of paper I was using, so I tossed those in for fun. And you get a half sheet of butterfly stickers. Since it's kind of a butterfly themed album, I thought it'd be fun to scatter some of these little gold butterflies throughout the book. Here's the rest of these things are all things that I'm including in the kit for your Christmas projects. So you get a 12 by 12 sheet of stickers from Authentique that are, the colors match really nicely with the papers that I gave you. And it's got all kinds of little stickers that you can accent and do pretty stuff. And I can tell you, after having made one of these books, there's enough stickers here for 3, maybe even 4 books. So you got a lot of stickers here. In addition to those, I gave you a full sheet of Christmas stickers from Sticker King with little bits of holly and Merry Christmas and some fun little winter scenes that I thought would be fun to put in your books. You get the labels that I was using on the envelopes. This was the cover label, and then here's the little envelope, or the labels I was leaving for the envelope pockets. You get all of those pages. You have to cut them down, trim them up, make them pretty, but the Christmas craft ideas, the Christmas cards sent and received, the notes, the dates to remember, the dinner menu, the dinner shopping, and the gift list. So you got all of those already pre-printed for you, and they're all done in a really fun kind of gothic print. So you get that old-fashioned Christmas that kind of matches the papers. And you get you get covers from some of my books around the shop, and the covers and the back sheets cut up to be the inserts for your covers, so you can stiffen those up a little bit. You get all of these papers, and I think there's about a dozen or more colored papers to put in your books. Obviously, you can add to, take away from, do whatever you like here, but you get a bunch of different, and it's all kind of vintage feeling paper. So you get all these background papers for any pages that you're not putting an actual lined paper on. You get some accent pieces. I thought it'd be fun. On the inside cover of mine, I just put that little label, but I actually thought afterwards I found these, and I thought these would have been fun to have on that first page. So I stuck these in your book, and a couple other little labels that I thought would be some fun trim work. So it's a pretty rich kit, really. You got enough for 1, 2, 3 full albums. Well, no, you have enough for 2 full albums, plus the envelopes to make 2 more. So you've got enough materials here in terms of the envelopes to make 4 projects from this one kit. And you're going to have leftovers from this first one that you can apply your extra stickers and things that you can bring into your others. So lots of good stuff. I'm going to bring this back down here. Nobody has their kits today, so I guess I'm on my own, but you guys are going to have to talk to me, because it makes me a little nervous to know I'm the only one working on the project. That always makes me feel better to know you guys are out there working with me. I kind of feel like I'm on stage when you guys are not working on it with me. So be sure you talk with me. I'd like to get some of these for family, friends. Yeah. I like the receipt pocket a lot in there. I think that's kind of a fun addition. So we're going to start, and your assembly is going to be exactly the same. Envelope styles and things vary, and so it will be a little bit different each time. But start with 10 to 12 envelopes, and I gave you 6. I guess there's 10 in our pack here, which is just about perfect for an album, really. And we are going to, I'm going to grab that chipboard because I had to go back and put it in the other kits I had Brittany go back and put it in the little pieces in your kits, but I forgot to have her put it in mine. So I'm going to start by cutting down this chipboard so that I can stiffen up my covers a little bit. So my paper here is my envelopes are 4 and almost a half, actually. That's interesting. By 5 3/4. Huh, they're bigger than I expected them to be, but that's okay. So I'm going to make this just a little shorter than 5 3/4, so it'll slide into my envelope nicely. Yeah, absolutely. That's part of my goal, Bet, is that through these classes, between your scarves and the albums and some of the other stuff we're making, your Christmas cards, you should be in really good low-stress state for Christmas this year. I love to hear you say it, though. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going a little less than 5 3/4 again, so I can slide it right into my pocket and have it be fairly stationary in there. Okay, what we're going to do when we do this is we are going to, so these are going to become my front and back covers. We're going to open up our envelopes, and actually one of the things I want to do, my book came apart on one that I did recently because I didn't glue this in, and then I glued other things to it. So I'm going to put a little bit of my glue, just a tad. It's going to be enough to hold it in place. But I'm going to put a little bit of my glue on my chipboard to just hold that in place in my envelope so it's not pulling out and then pulling my other pages out. One of the things that I think is fun and interesting about this is that when you do this, you are going to glue to the backs of the flaps. I know that doesn't seem right, but we're going to put our glue primarily on the backs of the flaps of these envelopes. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. And I'm going to slide this right inside here. So I've got my two envelopes facing one another.
And you put it in front of the chipboard.
Oh,
or behind the chipboard.
I put it in front, but I just realized that I probably want to do this differently than I was doing it. I'm not going right into my cover yet. I'm going to put together a couple of double page spreads, okay? I'm going to have a double page spread here. Then I'm going to open another envelope, and this time I'm going to put the full sheet of one facing the opening of the other. See that? What I'm doing is creating something that I can build on. So now I have not used these particular envelopes, and I knew that this one might be just a tad more challenging than some of the bigger ones, because these other envelopes that I gave you, these should be pretty easy. They're very nice quality envelopes and they're heavy. These are pretty good envelopes and they're heavy. These are a little less expensive envelopes and they're not quite as heavy as some of the others that I've used, but the thing I think that makes them challenging is that these little flaps are lighter weight, so they don't insert quite as easily. One of your challenges then is going to be to keep them all lined up nicely so they'll glue together well for you. Okay, so we started this one.
Alice has a question for you.
Okay, Alice, do you glue each one when you put the flap in the other envelope? Yes, you do. And we're going to put some of them together face to face with the pockets, and we're going to put a couple of them together going the opposite direction, which allows us to insert at different angles. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this flap. But see what I mean? Because they're kind of wimpy little envelopes. They'll still work just fine for a project, by the way, because by the time that we get done covering these with cardstock and stuff, they're going to be hefty. But just putting them together, it takes a little more finesse to slide them in. And we'll just keep adding pages here. To put our books together. Now, by putting the glue on the back, what I'm doing is allowing myself to leave an envelope if I want to. I can still insert in here if I want to leave these pages as an envelope, or I can cover over the entire thing with chipboard. And as you work, I want you to try and keep these corners even. They won't be, especially in your first book or two, they won't be exactly even, but they can be pretty close. They can be pretty close. Okay, so I'm going to take my pieces here and I can, and there's no, guys, don't get all weirded out about, front to back, back to front. Ultimately, you're just going to insert the pieces together, the flaps together, and pull your book together. So I'm going to glue these two pieces together, and I'm going to keep working till I get my booklet the size I want. Sometimes you might not want one that's huge. You might want one that's 6 or 8 pages, depending on what your purpose is for it. I think these little books would be just perfect remembrances of like a baby shower or a wedding shower or a birthday party or my puppy's first year. I think they'd just be really fun little remembrance books for various occasions. And you'll see that as we work and it begins to get thicker, these pages try to pull apart a little on me. I just line them up as best I can, but I'm just going to keep inserting them. And I'm down to my last couple here. I'm going to put oops, tried going the wrong side. One thing I would say is less glue is probably better than more glue. You don't want your books to get soggy. You got enough to contend with without the glue sogging it out too much. So go lightly on the glue, not too much. Okay, so I'm going to just about to a point where I'm going to want to put my other covers together. I want to glue this back piece in. I glue these. I don't use finger lift because I want to be able to slide these in, Mary, and move them around a bit. I want to have the latitude to pull it back out if I need to for something, and that glue staying wet for a minute helps. Remember, finger lift is most excellent for when you want it to go down and stay down. But because finger lift tape is not easily movable, when you're doing a project that requires you to potentially finesse something around a little bit, I think glue's the better choice for those times. Okay, so I'm going to attach this one. I'll put these, let's see, I got 2 more here. Those are put together already. I'm going to put this one. I'm going to put this one in my cover over here. And I'm going to see where my pockets are. There's probably people out there in the world better at making these than me, but I found this little pattern and I just thought it was such a cute, nifty idea to bring to you for something that's really, really different, that you just won't see everywhere and every day. Okay, so I'm going to put these together. Let's see. Sometimes it means opening the envelope backwards if you are looking for a way to attach your pages. You can open that envelope backwards and go, which means this time I'm putting the glue on the seal side. That's okay. Again, there's no hard and fast rules here, guys. We're just sticking the flaps from one inside the next one to keep building this thing up, right? I'm gonna put this one here. And sometimes you gotta turn them around to get the flaps to go in, so. Am I being clear as mud? I feel like I'm being confusing. If I'm being, I'm being confusing? You're just basically, and yet it will make more sense when you're doing it, you're just gluing the flaps into the next envelope in line. And while we're doing that, leave myself an opening to put this one in. There we go. And when it's all said and done, you're going to have all these little flaps glued in one after the other. This one I sealed it too far to get it in, but I just took my finger and slid it. It's fine. Okay, so I'm putting this last one in. I've got my back cover and I've got my front cover on the two outsides. And just to reinforce things further, I'm going to take the flap of this envelope from the front and bring it around to the, we'll see now, that pulled out of place a little bit. Let me see if I can get me a little bit more room. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to glue this flap here to kind of reinforce the spine of my little book. Okay, so you're just inserting the flaps of one envelope into the inside of the next. I've got all of my envelopes glued now, and I have all these pages ready to go. Okay, and it's surprisingly sturdy because I've got that chipboard in my two outside pockets. It's time to start cutting down our papers and putting in there, and you'll begin to see that it gets sturdier and sturdier as we put our papers in. First thing I want to do is decide what I want my covers to be. And I remember that there's a fairly dark one here, so it might be better to use the dark ones towards the outside, because I might want to write on the pages on the inside, right? So this one right here, this looks like a really good cover for either the outside of my book or the inside. That would be a good one. You got lots of paper choices here, guys. Okay. Before you ask, I'm sorry I do not have this paper available for purchase in the store. This was, I think I told you at Christmas time, Michael's had their big paper books for marked down to like $5. And I went in and bought a bunch of them, and this is one of those paper books. I think it was called something Romance Garden, and it was from Michael's. In that craft, I believe the brand was Craft Style. I need to acknowledge them for that. I like the way this looks. See, my back cover is off just a tiny bit, so I'm going to turn it around so I've got my better cover on the front. And I'm going to cover my back with this piece. And, you know, there's nothing fancy. I could use my tape here, really. I got my glue bottle out, so I'll just keep gluing them. I'm going to put on my back cover. And sometimes, depending on the weight of the envelopes, Sometimes I like to take, I didn't cut one here, but I like to take another little piece of paper and just wrap around from the front to the back cover. So I think I did that on one of these so that it's even more reinforced. And this one I did it. Can you see this right here? This was a little piece of like 1.5 inch scrap that I just wrapped over, and then I put my covers on top because it further reinforced my spine. Does that make some sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you guys doing? Is it nice where you are? It's been, what, Bryson, about the 90s here
80s
this week?
and 90s.
80s and
100 on
90s?
Monday.
What's that?
100 on Monday.
We're going to have 100 on Monday? We don't get to 100 on Monday. That's just not right. I don't like it when it gets hot. That's why I live in Oregon. I keep forgetting how long this envelope is. Okay. I wanted to leave borders around mine, and actually you'll kind of have to with the papers that I sent you because they are cut to leave a little border around. So I don't think I'm going to put pockets in this one, but if I wanted to put pockets in it, all I'd have to do is just cut my paper down a little bit and use my paper to trim and then leave the pocket open. The only thing worse than having it be hot is having it be hot and humid. So I'm feeling for you, Alice. I don't deal with humidity at all. Surprisingly, you'd think out here in the land of rain we get a lot of humidity. We really don't. It comes from the sky as rain, and then it goes away, and in the summertime we get a little sunshine, and it's just nice, dry sunshine. We don't get all that humidity here. And for that, I am very grateful. So just pick your papers and put the two patterns that you like together side by side. And then we'll do a little decorating on it. I know this is kind of a little fairly easy and short project. The kits this week, because we had so much cutting and stuff, they're not expensive. I mean, especially given the fact that you have the stuff for 4 albums in here. The kits are going to run $20. I figure between the materials and time I have about $15 to $16 in actual materials plus another $5 in employee time putting them together. So but this is certainly something you can do, guys, with your, we've talked a lot about using paper scraps and those collections that we have at home. Boy, this would be just an awesome way, because you can see the size papers we're using. A 12 by 12 sheet will make, one 12 by 12 sheet will make 3 pages in your Christmas size albums. Those envelopes are actually 4, and I think they're 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. And I cut the strips to 4 inches because you need to allow a little room for the pages to move in here. So, and again, if you wanted to reinforce even more, guys, you could use, if you wanted to, you could run a little washi tape down between these pages too. I mean, if it's something you expect to handle a great deal, you could run a little washi tape down here.
What's washi tape?
Crafters all know, honey. It's paper tape. Mm-hmm. Tell Bryce you guys know what washi tape is. He thinks I'm using a term and not defining it, but you guys know what washi tape is. Nobody in Texas out there, is there? We have a hurricane headed for Texas, it looks like. I just was seeing on the news before I came in. It's not bad enough they are getting hit with such a surge of coronavirus, now a hurricane. Like, nature is not being nice to Texas this week. I have the butterflies in this somewhat solid piece on this side. I really think this needs a gold butterfly on this page. I was just looking at that thinking, man, this really could use. Look how pretty that is. Let me put that in there. Just that extra little bit. You got a lot of butterflies here. Use them generously, guys. I'm going to put one on this page too. Just because it's pretty. Why not? Okay. What do I want to use next? I better be deciding pretty quick here what I want on my cover, huh? Boy, that one's so light I hardly saw that it had a pattern. Maybe... I want that one. Do I want that one? It's kind of a butterfly album, so I'm going to use this one on my cover. I've been working on your next projects. I'm excited to show it to you. I'm going to have next week's project out. Probably, I think I can have the listing up when I do the newsletter tonight because I have everything ready to go. I just need to price it and write the description and put it up. But I'm pretty excited about what I'm bringing you next week. And our crafters for Thursday night, oh my gosh, I'll show you our Thursday night project too. I suppose it's supposed to be hot this time of year. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but I suppose it's supposed to be hot. And decide if that's directional. I really don't think it is. It kind of goes this way and that way and every way. Got some pretty foiled papers in here. Got some fairly solid papers. I thought this was a pretty book though. Everybody staying healthy and happy out there? Staying in and being good? Oh, Alice, you're only 10 minutes from the Gulf. Does that mean you are in hurricane territory? You're going to have to watch that, or are you pretty safe and away from that? Yes, you will see both of this coming week's projects before we sign off here today. I'm sorry I was so late getting this one out, guys. I try. I've been kind of meeting myself coming and going since I finished taxes because I let so many other things go in between there that I had to catch up with stuff. But I think I've about got it now. Oh yeah, you are going to have to watch it, huh? Yeah. Does sound like a beautiful place. But being right on that Gulf, not that warm water. I don't know. You know, I think about you guys who live out there in hurricane territory, and I think, how can you do it? And then people say to us, how can you live under active volcanoes? Well, I guess we all pick our poison depending on where we want to live, don't we? This has got a little bit of a gap there. This would be a good place for some washi tape just because of the way I constructed this. They ended up with a little gap there in my center, so that would be a good, that probably will be a good place. I'm going to put some washi tape. I'm not going to worry about it this moment, but I will put some there. November to April is the time, May through October, is that the hurricane time, Alice? Is that when you have to watch out for that, or what makes it a best place the rest of the year? I might be able to still put a piece of paper there. I wonder how many pages do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 more. And I have more paper than that. I think I'm going to put a little piece of paper in there and figure out what I'm willing to sacrifice for it. Maybe one of these since I have two. I'm going to lift this one that I just did, and I'm going to put myself in a little piece of paper right here, because I kind of have that gap and I don't like it. So I'm going to put a little piece of paper there. Have you lived there all your life, Alice? In that area of the country? I suppose it's like anything else. If you grow up with it and live with it, then it's kind of normal for you, huh? Did you guys see what I did there? I just smushed in a little piece of paper there so I don't have that gap showing in my book. I just stuck it in between pages. So looky there, I have a page I skipped when I was working along here.
Well, you might be short.
Now I might be. I don't know. We'll find out. I know where more paper's located, but and I'll bet these guys know where more paper's located too. Because we all got that stash we talked about. I'm forever looking for things to do with bits of paper you have left from projects. And I know you guys all have that stash too, because paper crafters, we all have it. And you know, we just can't help ourselves. When we see something we like, we buy more. So giving you a way to be able to use some of it up and live guilt-free, that's nice too. But we'll see it again when we flip past that page. We won't even hardly see it there. It just will fill it in so it's not obvious. And you can do that same thing as we talked about. You can do that same thing across the back cover if you want to, if you just want to reinforce your binding a little bit more. But these really are fun little albums, and you know, it's just not real costly to put something like this together. Let's use the green one over here. I've cut these papers down about a ½ an inch. I just kind of rough cut them. I didn't cut them all to size. I figured you guys could do that. I was just trying to put together an assortment of papers I thought you might like in your albums. You were right, Alice. I lay awake nights thinking of ways to tempt you. I admit it. I really do. You have lots of paper, but you don't necessarily have lots of my paper. And, you know, I have good stuff. I can't help myself. I could, but I don't want to. I built a business on tempting people. Oh, Teddy's headed out for his haircut, guys. Wish him luck. Wish him luck. See you later, baby. I'm kind of glad I don't have to drop him off. Dogs make you feel like a traitor when you drop them off for whatever they need, whether it's their vet check or their haircut. They make you feel really awful. This time Lauren can feel awful and I don't have to. Thank you for being there for me so I don't have to take him. And I don't have to feel guilty. I can just make him really welcome when he gets home. Okay. Well, I hope I'm not boring you guys as I glue my pages in my book. It's really just kind of what you need to do. Hey, Sadie. Oh, you're headed out? Oh, you're headed for bed. Oh, it's in, oh yeah, 11:44 in the UK. Well, sign on later, Katie, and take a look at what our projects are going to be, because we have some fun stuff coming up this week. See you later. Bye, Ted. Okay. Well, I'm still going to be okay. Oh, maybe I'm going to be one short. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. I did need that page I used, but that's okay. I have more. Okay. So can you guys see yourself trying this project and just checking it out to see what you can do, making little envelope books? What are some of the things you think you might use them for? I don't know how many people use address books anymore, but I could see it maybe being a fun address book. I think I got that. I think that one's directional. I think I'll turn it the other way. Kind of got my flowers growing
Computer password.
upside down. Excuse me? Oh, yeah. A password book, Bryce said, for your computer. That'd be good. Just a little notebook to stash your sensitive data in, so when you do what I do and you lock yourself out of your bank account or wherever, you can go and figure out what it was. I manage to do that way too often. Sometimes I think we live in password hell. What else would you use them for? I really think the idea of just kind of commemorating special occasions with just a simple little thing, like this is fun. I'll leave that other page blank for a little bit. I may either put a note-lined page there, or actually I have kind of a little bit of a ripple there. Let me put this in there. And like I said, there's probably people out there who do this better than me, but I'm just trying to give you as many fun and creative ideas as I can. I should give a shout out to the people from Stampin' Up. I think this is an idea I saw on the Stampin' Up blog. I take ideas from everywhere, and I take ideas shamelessly, because that's what we do as crafters. We share ideas and we pass things along to share our fun and creative crafts with other people. In case you didn't notice, I had a little gap there too. I decided to cover up. Might have been better if I'd been a little bit more uniform about the way I put my envelopes together, just kind of continuing the same pattern, but I just kind of put them together every which direction, and they seem to work okay. Now, one of the things that Margie recommended, and I haven't tried it yet, but see, a lot of my books are pretty even on the edges. This one's going to be a little bit uneven. I was kind of doing it fast and quick and maybe a little bit nervously today. So my pages are a little bit uneven here, but that's okay. With some practice, you can get those to line up pretty well. But one of the things Margie recommended was actually putting the cardstock on before you put the book together, Because if you put the cardstock on before you put the book together, when you line up your pages, it's already accounting for the extra bulk, and I thought that was a good idea. I haven't tried it, but I think it would be a good way to try. Yeah, parents will love these, and just a simple, inexpensive way to acknowledge those special moments. And yeah, and how many of us, I bet you do too. I have lots of envelopes out here, and sometimes you just end up with a collection of envelopes. You don't know what cards they went to. The cards are long gone, and you have a bunch of envelopes. Now you can make your own cards for those envelopes and stuff, but this is another way to just kind of use up some of that accumulation. And you can often pick up inexpensive envelopes in clearance sales and that kind of thing. Even when you're back when we can shop in stores again, going to the clearance table and they have those sets of stationery, and you don't necessarily like the stationery, but you could use the envelopes if you pick it up for 50 cents. So lots of cool things we can do. So put a few of your gold stickers in here, and we are pretty much finished, and we have a nice, fairly sturdy little book. It only took a few minutes to make, and it's fun. Once again, our kit includes the materials. You have the full materials to make 2 books, and then you'll have the envelopes to make as many as 4, 2 of the Christmas books, and then a 5 by 6.5 book as well. You guys want to see what's coming up? Let's take a look at what's coming up. On Thursday,
What kind of dog is Teddy?
Teddy is a red poodle. He's a red miniature poodle. He was a Humane Society baby. Somebody spent a whole bunch of money to buy Teddy from a breeder, and then had him for 2 or 3 days and decided that a puppy didn't fit their lifestyle. Yes, I do have these in the store, Alice. Yep. These are actually a little bigger than legal. They're 9.5 long, but we do have these available. Yeah, but can you imagine getting a puppy and then 2 days later saying, I don't think a puppy fits my lifestyle. But I do commend the people that gave him up for adoption, because they could have done any number of things with him, and instead they chose to turn him into the Humane Society, which I think was a good decision, because then Teddy got to come and live with me. Okay, this is our stamp for this week. We haven't played with cling stamps yet, so we're going to do this cling stamp this week. It's absolutely gorgeous. I hope you can see the detail, and it's really nice. It's got a forest scene with kind of an alder type tree up in the front, and then some other trees in a gathering. We are going to send you in this week's kit. You're going to get a glue pad. And to make this card, I stamped it with green, and I stamped it with a glue pad and used my iridescent glitter over the top. So we're going to do that. And then this one is made using only the glue pad on black paper, and we're going to use some gilding flakes. This is going to be a particularly rich class this week, because you're not only getting gilding flakes in your kit, and glitter, and paper, and the card, and this beautiful stamp that used to be $15 all on its own. You are also getting a Nouveau double-ended brush, and this is what we're going to use to brush out our gilding flakes. So you are getting a really, really rich kit this week for the stamping class. It's really going to be a good one. It's specialty papers, you get black papers, white papers, stamp, the gilding flakes, the glitter, there's no new stamp pad, or no new ink colors this week, just the glue pad, but the glue pad itself sells for $9.50. So yeah, you're getting a really nice kit at a very, very good price. this week. So that's this week's stamping class. Aren't they going to be pretty? Yay. Yes, Mary, we do. We sell envelopes in the store in 50 packs in Hunky Dory. And they're very reasonably priced. About, Bryce could probably look it up for us under Hunky Dory and cards and envelopes. Just look at envelopes only. I think they're somewhere in the area of $5 to $6, depending on the size, for 50 envelopes. So it's a really good deal. So we do have those. And we do have, for anybody who decides to go totally crazy with this idea, I even have a 250 pack of envelopes from Paper Mania that's at a very good price. So some thoughts there. Let me show you what's coming up for next Saturday. I'm very excited about these. I finished these at 3 o'clock this morning, my samples. And wait till you see. We're going to do something called Keep It Cool. Here's our first punch-out sheet. This is going to be a full kit. You'll get the envelopes and everything, and the envelopes, the cards, the punch-out sheets. I forgot to put foam squares on my list, but we'll throw some foam squares in there because you have to assemble all these. So we've got one sheet of penguins, and you get 3 images off the penguin sheet, completed images. This one is I think it's robins and cardinals. It's really pretty. Kind of in the blue-gray tones, but they're beautiful when you put them together. You'll see in a minute. We got polar bear and cubs. Oh, she's so cute, and the babies are so sweet. And obviously you get 3 off of this one. And then we've got the deer, we've got the stag, and then we've got the doe and her fawn. Then we got 3. This will make 3 toppers also. So you got enough for 12 toppers. You are going to get in this kit, you're going to get this 2-piece die set. This is really, it's hard to see there, but this is kind of a woven pattern in the back that actually opens up quite a bit. You'll see it on the sample cards. And a beautiful snowflake border. This whole thing, I'm going to say it's, what do you say, Bryce? 3.5, 3 3/4 inches wide, so you get a really nice topper from this die. You get this 5x5 inch die, and you'll see it on the card samples again, but this one, and so does this one actually, this one punches out 1, 2, 3, 4 full snowflakes. This one punches out 1, 2, 3, 4 bigger full snowflakes, like 1-inch snowflakes. So you can use both the punch outs and the die itself. This comes with a complete set of paper for the backgrounds. You'll be able to see those clearly when we look at our samples here. It's a 23-sheet pack of double-sided paper. You're getting a pack of cardstock that perfectly coordinates with the papers and the images. It's made to go together. So you're getting a pack of half-size sheets of cardstock. And that's got, this is really nice weight cardstock too. It's probably equivalent to our, I'm going to say to our 80-pound card. And what do you get in here? 80... should say here how many sheets we get. I don't know how many sheets we get.
Other side?
No. It's a good collection though, and you've got darks to lights and whites and grays and light blues. And you're going to get all the cards and envelopes that you need. You're going to get a nice selection of Rainbow Mirror, because I used Rainbow Mirror quite liberally in my card sets. So that's what your kit's going to look like. I need to throw a sheet of stickers on there, so I remember we got to get the stickers in that kit. So that's what the kit's going to look like. Let me show you our card samples. Makes 12 cards in total. You're going to get 10 cards and envelopes in 5x5. Here's my first design. Here's my second design. I hope that the camera picks up the beautiful blue tones, like in the back of this. This has a very soft, snowy looking background with white and very light blue. So pretty. Here's another. Got our stag in front of the rainbow mirror frame, and you can see the lattice work kind of feel that this inside of that die looks like. I love the fact that it's in two pieces, so you can make both the inside and the outside of that die different colors. Here's our first view of the snowflake frame. How beautiful is that? Woohoo! Hey, it's okay, Pam. You can watch us later and catch up on what we're doing with making our envelope books. You're just in time to see what our next two classes are going to look like. Here's our, and once again, I hope you can see this. It's very subtle, but I'm using that snowy background again, and I've got white snowflakes on top of it that you can see in person. You may not pick them up a lot on the camera. And then I used the little, I told you that we have the little snowflakes that punch out of the frame. I've used those, and they coordinate perfectly with the 1-inch snowflakes, so you can layer those up. I can see using this part of this die all year long. It doesn't have to be snow. It's beautiful. And we've got this one with the birds. Here's another one with the polar bears. Look what it adds, just taking that little bit of rainbow mirror and putting in here. All I've used on this one is just my simple frame and then just a little bit of rainbow mirror, kind of tucking that behind her, almost a halo effect coming up over the top of the polar bears. And I put one rainbow mirror snowflake in the corner. I like that card. Here's our babies. And this one, I'm not sure if you can see it again on camera, but this is a very faint pattern of the mama and the babies in the background, and then just the babies in the topper. So cute. Okay, I'm excited about these. This is a new card style. I haven't even listed them in the store yet. I wanted to try it out and see what I thought. These are some new stepper, center step easel cards. Now this one is not quite finished. I'm going to use a snowflake brad on the front here as my stopper for the easel. This took 2 pieces of paper to make this one. I could do the cover and the inset with 1 piece and then a second piece for the bottom. But doesn't that turn out pretty? I think that's really striking. And again, I'm going to put a snowflake here for a stopper, snowflake brad, so I'll include those in the kits too. Oops. Here's I gotta glue that down a little bit. Oh, I've made my reverse easel with this one. And I need to put a stopper on the back of this one too. I haven't done that yet, but I've got my pretty doe and fawn with my reverse easel card that we discovered a while back. I'll probably put this down about here with the stopper so she'll stand up fairly straight, but I do like the way that works, the easel. And here's my penguins on an easel card. So you get 2 of these easel stepper cards and 10 of the 5x5s. So it's another really beautiful, rich kit. And I don't have any sentiments on these. You know, certainly these could benefit from having some season's greetings, warm wishes, kind of sentiments on them. Again, I just finished them in the middle of the night, so you're first to see them. Because you tuned in and you're my buddies. You never leave me hanging. You're always here for me. I appreciate that. Okay, that's really about what I've got to offer today. We will be also doing, oh yeah, Bryce said, Bryce said to remind you about these Easy Peely stickers. Now, we are almost out. I think we might only have 2 or 3 or maybe 4 packs left in the store at this point. It's amazing how fast these went, but I can get more. They came fairly quickly from UK. It's a new manufacturer. It's the same manufacturer who makes these cards. And I'm going to order more of these cards too, because I just think these are clever. You guys like this? I think these are really fun. And I'm working with her to see if I can get more of some of the cards we're having a tough time getting. So she has some very different materials. I wish I could credit the person who said you have to talk to this person. It's Craft Style in UK. And they told me about these Easy Peelies, and you know, I forget things sometimes. I forget way more than I used to. And if you're watching, tell me. I'm the one who told you go get these, because these are really, really cool. I don't know if you saw them in the What's New Wednesday, but you get 10 sheets to a pack, and all the sayings are different. They are so cool. And I'll show you one here. When my fingers aren't all inky, I'll show you how beautiful they go into your cards. Let's see. It's like a vellum material that's full adhesive on the back. Did you love them, Pam? They're off the charts. I loved that. You know, we're always on the lookout for things that we think you guys will like. Look, when I put this down, it just disappears into the background. And it just looks so professional. Now, had I had material here, in fact, let's do this. Do I want this one? I want the lighter one, I think. We've got this card here. Let's try and put an Easy Peely on it, see how it looks. That's razor glass. I don't think that fits the tone. This is fine. This card is sent just to say, have a Merry Christmas Day, have Happy New Year too. May joy be yours all the year through. That could be other birds. Why not? I want to show you what they look like on a printed background. I can get it off. Huh?
Good adhesive.
Good adhesive. And I trimmed my nails off because they were all inky from my last craft class. And so let's put this down right on this printed background and see what we see. Look, over the printed background. Can you see that well, guys? Is it clear, honey? Am I too close, too far?
I think it's all right.
Okay.
It's hard to tell.
Look, it just disappears. The sticker outline disappears into the background. They're beautiful. Yes, Craft Style products are from UK also. I imported them just for you because they were recommended to me. One of our customers said, I really, really hate paying that European shipping, and I sure wish you'd get some of these stickers because I love them. And I went out and looked, and I agreed. They were fabulous. So I ordered them. See, you can do that. You can say, hey, I'm looking for this thing. I think it's really cool. And if it's something that I think is a good mix with our product selection, I'll bring it in. So there we go.
Come in normal verses besides just Christmas?
Yes. In fact, I believe she has some birthday verses, and I think there were some baby verses. I may not do the baby stuff because we don't tend to sell a lot of baby stuff, but we'll do the birthdays for sure if she has those. And she might have an all occasion set or something. If she does, I'll absolutely grab those for you. So does anybody have any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom? If you haven't already, would you give me the thumbs up? Say you like what's happening here and you appreciate and would like to see more of it. I always like the thumbs up, and it counts nicely for my YouTube stats. So if you could do that for me, that would be great. Feel free to leave comments. I respond to every comment personally. And if you ever have questions or problems with one of your creations, call me. I'm happy to help you. Call me afternoons, after 1 o'clock Pacific time, and I'm happy to help you. I say 1 o'clock Pacific time because I'm often doing what I did last night, staying up all night working on projects. By the way, I wanted to give you an update on Hunky Dory. It was released by FedEx to Customs. Customs was working through their questions. It's in Seattle. We are so close to getting our Hunky Dory order. I hope and pray that it will be here sometime right after the first of the week. If so, we will ship it next week. I mean, we want to get this stuff out to you within about 48 hours of the time it hits our doorstep. So we will do our best to get it to you. It's just been something of a nightmare to get it through Customs this time because it's an enormous order. Hunky Dory did me the favor of saving me some money by combining 3 big orders onto one pallet. And that pallet ended up being over 1,000 pounds, and it had to be handled by a different division in shipping, which is what has slowed things down. I've had to go through a different port and a different customs agents, or a different division of the customs agency, a different division of FedEx. So crazy. It's been crazy. But it should be here really soon.
They're asking if there's a kit for today's class.
A kit for today's class, yes. The kit for today's class is up on the website right now and under live streams. And the kit for next week will be on the website tonight, as will the stamping class. Both of these will be on the website tonight. I will link them in your newsletter. I still owe you a newsletter for Thursday, so today's newsletter will be for tonight and Thursday. I'll link all the products I promised to link you on, and I'll have these kits up and available for purchase tonight. So thank you guys. I love you. Thanks for being out there. I always appreciate your companionship, for helping keep me sane during a stay-at-home time, and for giving me something fun to do to prepare new and different things for you. So thank you very much, and we'll see you on Thursday. Talk to you later. Bye.